BRB Blazer.
So the next one is Nick Chubb was asked by Matthew. I know this is like a week old, but Matthew Berry asked Nick Chubb who he would draft, or I can't remember exactly how the conversation went, but he said he would take Jarvis Landry over Odell Beckham Jr. What do you guys think?
The conversation
in fantasy,
was like,
it was about fantasy. So
I was kind of like, that interview was like annoying me, but I was like, but anyways, but he was like asking, he's like, all right, so he's talking about fantasy football, Matthew Berry to Nick Chubb, and he's like, all right, like if you had to take Jarvis Landry or OBJ, who would you take? He's like, man, Landry be catching like all those plays every. I don't sound like Nick Chubb at all, but trying to like Landry.
yeah, it sounded a little racist.
No, that wasn't racist. I was trying to do my Nick Chubb imperstation.
Is that what
You're
he
the one
sounded
who
like?
thought it was racist.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyways, he was like, yeah, he's like Landry be catching the balls, doing his thing, and then OBJ, you know, he'd be making those big plays, but like Jarvis Landry more consistent. So Barry was like, well, would you want the consistent guy or like the big play guy? And he's like, I want the consistent guy. That's basically what happened.
Yeah,
a little bit more, like more Chubb-like, but yeah, that's kind of what happened.
But I mean, he's not. I mean, he's not wrong. I went and looked at some stats on it, and like, I mean, Jarvis Landry had more receptions, he had more yards, more touchdowns. It's just he's like more. I don't know. Like he said, he's more consistent, and I don't hate Odell though. I feel like a lot of people are still hating on Odell, but I mean, we did that mock draft, and what round did he go in?
The 6th round,
I was like,
which is in
6.
yeah. I mean, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's like I'll take Odell in that. You know, he still had over 1,000 yards last year, 74 receptions.
Yeah, I mean, if you still know a guy, let's not even take the name. Let's just say, hey, you're gonna get a guy who's gonna get, you know, over 100 targets. He's gonna get you roughly 1,000 yards, and he has, you know, 8 to 10 touchdown upside. I mean, the 5th, 6th round, you're like, okay, that sounds like a solid player. Like I said, not saying the name.
yeah.
So like I said, if you're getting him in like the 5th, 6th round of actual drafts, which I don't know if that'll happen because the casual fan's gonna still think OBJ. I don't know. He's probably burned a lot of people at this point, so maybe not.
Yeah.
But you know, if you're getting him 5th, 6th round, then I'm not mad at that because he does have more upside than Landry for sure. That's kind of not even a question with the upside.
It's crazy. I was looking at their ADPs on Fantasy Football Calculator. Odell is at the 601, so he's the 64th overall player, and Landry's at the 511. He's the 61st overall best player.
Right.
I think in a lot of drafts you're still going to see Odell go ahead of Landry, and I'll be more than happy to take
Jarvis.
Jarvis Landry. Yeah. Did I say that wrong?
No,
I think
you're
Odell
100%.
will go first. Oh my bad.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Odell will go
For
first,
sure.
and then I'll be more than happy to take Landry. You know, as the second Browns receiver. You know, a round later, or even a couple picks later. I think honestly, if it comes between those two, I'm still going to take Landry, just because. I mean, like I said, it comes down to Baker. Like I mean, I am on pretty high on Baker, but is he like going to push the ball to Odell? I don't think so. I think those days of Odell seeing, you know, 150 targets, I think those days, you know, with the Giants are long gone, especially with all the weapons that this team has. You know, maybe Landry just works better with Baker just because he's, you know, in that slot. You know,
his
he
route
would
tree.
predominantly slot, yeah, where Odell's the out guy. And I think they really try to force the ball to Odell so much, and maybe they might like limit that. Like, hey, we can't be trying to, I get it, he's a diva, but like you can't be forcing the ball so much to him. Just some crazy numbers on Landry right here. Obviously, I like Landry. I know Anthony does too because we're Dolphins fans, but 80 plus receptions, 80 plus receptions in all 6 of his seasons, and minus his rookie season, he's had 975 or more receiving yards in 5 straight years. So I'll just take the consistency. I'm like Nick Chubb. I'll take the consistency of 975 plus receiving yards with 80 plus receptions, and then, you know, Landry's never been a big touchdown guy, but he usually gets you about 6. I'll take that all day.
Yeah,
For sure.
That's what he had last
And
year.
anything over that, you're running to the bank with, because he's, especially in PPR. In PPR, he's a machine. If you're in standard, you can probably take OBJ. Maybe you can make a better case, but in PPR formats, Jarvis. I mean,
Yeah, it's true. Standard, it's different because you're just total yardage. Those receptions don't count, so it's more total yardage than touchdown. I mean, I'm that's where, like, if it actually comes down to the 6th round, like, I don't think it's going to be that OBJ going in the 6th and win.
No way.
But
Someone's gonna take him in
he
the
has
third,
the
fourth.
name
Yeah.
value.
Here's the
100%.
thing.
But if it
100%.
does, I will take. If it's that late, I will take OBJ over Landry due to the upside because I already have probably 2 receivers at that point. So it's like,
It's not a
why-
detriment to your
yeah,
team.
well, it's not like he's going to be my starter at that point. Why not take a upside?
Swinging for the fences.
Yeah, because you could literally make everyone kind of just be like, "Suck it, I had a good ass year," and they, Baker clicks and whatnot. So, but like I said, Landry's upside is not the same. So that late in the draft, I'll go OBJ, but I don't think that's going to be realistic when we come time to like draft season. Like if I have to choose for him in the 4th round, which I think is more realistic, I'm not grabbing him there. I'll take Landry in the 6th, 2 rounds later.
Yeah. As a football player, though, OBJ's a better football player, but that's not always what it comes down to. I mean,
I don't know. Don't disrespect Landry like that.
no, I'm not. I mean, I just think OBJ he's still talented. He's only 27.
I mean, I've seen Landry do some crazy stuff, and his ability to like juke people and make people miss in the open field is impressive. And one thing with Landry, I could just say is, I mean, knock on wood. I don't want to jinx my boy here, but
you thought it.
But all 6 seasons he's played a full 16 games. And OBJ's kind of been
Not.
4 of this 6 seasons he hasn't played a full season.
And T, what's the best ability?
Availability.
I will say
Yeah.
something to both of them. I'm actually a little bit worried about their target upside just in general. They're about 135 targets last year. Baker Mayfield, they'll kind of get into some Baker Mayfield numbers right here a little bit. 534 pass attempts last year, which was still 10th highest. I think they're going to be more run heavy. I mean, you look at Stefanski's offense as a coordinator last year, second in rushing, like 29th in passing.
Yeah.
They upgraded that offensive line. I think this is going to be more of a run heavy pass second offense, and I think if that number drops from 534, this is where I have a little bit of concern with both these guys.
Yeah.
If that number goes from 534 down to 497 or like low 5s, you add Austin Hooper's targets into that mix, it's a little scary that one of them could go under 100 or right around 100, or both of them might be in the 110 range, where it's like I said, I'm kind of a little like I'm trying to dig into these numbers with them, but like I said, their target upside to me is kind of capped this year, both of them. It's a little worrisome. I mean, it's in Baker's numbers with the interceptions and all that. It's just, I'm kind of getting a little scared off of both of them, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it is the offense, too. I mean, looking at just the QBs for Stefanski, I mean, Kirk Cousins is the one who's thrown the most touchdowns under his offense, and that's 30. So, I mean, it's not, and that's the most. Case Keenum had 21 with him, so they're not exact. Like you said, he's not going to be throwing for 35 touchdowns. They're going to be more, play action. His Q might have like a higher QB rating, higher completion percentage. But yeah, I don't think he's going to pass it 500 and like
34. It was 10th highest. That's what I'm getting at. It's like,
I'm agreeing with you. Yeah, I think that with them running like double tied and like 2 running backs, they're just all, like you said, there's so many weapons that it's going to help the team as a whole from a football standpoint to spread the ball around. We're not speaking fantasy. We're saying like football wise, because I mean, they got Hooper, they got Njoku, they got these 2 guys with Chubb and Hunt. So I mean, they have a lot of mouths to feed. So
yeah, I mean, if let's just say he throws the same, you want to add the tight end position only had 69 targets last year in Cleveland. So now either you have to basically demolish Austin Hooper and make him tight end 27.
and
or
they
you
just paid him, so they
yeah,
won't.
or you have to account for some of these targets going over towards away from the receivers to the tight end position with the healthy Njoku and Hooper. So, like I said, I'm kind of a little bit worried about Landry and Odell. It might be a really inconsistent week to week one of them, or that target volume. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to be as high as it was last year.
Who do you think finishes half point PPR better?
I mean, I'll bet Landry.
Receiver? I mean, Landry finished as wide receiver 13 last year. Odell was wide receiver 26.
I don't really have to worry about Landry getting hurt either. So,
I think you're a little bit crazy if you go Odell on that one, just based off like this past year. And
Well, I'm trying to, like fresh, like got a new O-line, new offensive coordinator. So I'm trying to throw in all the factors and try to assume maybe that was OBJ's worst year. Man, that is close though. I feel like I might ride OBJ, but close. And then if he doesn't do
That
it,
was
then
one
I'm
of your
done
man
with it.
crushes though, so you gotta go Odell.
Well, no, I mean, I told you I went. Well, in the rankings too, I had him at 12, and then his face was pissing me off. So,
Dude,
yeah,
if
you're
you
right.
told me, if you told me,
You're right.
if you told me 4 years ago, hey, would you be down to take OBJ in the 6th, okay, let's just say in the 5th round?
Because
I would have been like, oh hell yeah. Okay, so but then my next question would be like, why did something happen? I mean, you'd be like, oh well, he plays for the Browns, and then I would be like, oh. And then it'd be like, well, is he like injured? And it's like, no, it's just like
my bad.
Jarvis Landry's there.
he's not new to this. He's true to this. So
No, I get it. Yeah, Odell in the 6 would be crazy. I think when we get closer to draft season. I feel like these ADPs are a little skewed.
The only
sure.
people who are doing mock drafts right now, which are kind of like, which is naturally making these ADPs, is people like us,
The lifers.
who are talking about Jarvis Landry and
Or
OBJ
people who watch us.
in May or April. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, almost everybody's pissed off at Odell. So
Yeah, because like I actually like we all use the fantasy calculator or whatever some type. Whenever it gets to like August, I always adjust it to like a 1 week, like because you can go to like 1 week, 1 day, one
yeah,
month.
yeah.
I always adjust it to like a 1 week to see how that changes because you get the casual fan who, like I said, we'll talk about how like we have Tom Brady at like 10, but in real drafts he's probably gonna go. Some people are taking fourth or
sure.
third or something like that because it's Tom Brady. So, so yeah, that'll adjust. We have people taking Lamar Jackson #1 overall. That's gonna happen in some leagues.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, and people
Maybe
in
not
different
one,
league
two.
like formats like this. We're in a keeper league, so OBJ's for sure not going in the 6th round due to the fact that we're all going to keep a player and then start our then start our draft. So
Trey,
yeah, I don't know.
do you need to throw Austin?
I'm just gonna say those Jarvis Landry highlights made me moist.
No, he's
That's my guy. That's one of my favorite players.
If you want to be moist with Tyler, go check out our YouTube channel.
if you
can
didn't know,
live
he
sh-
likes Jarvis.
Jarvis.
All right, let's get.
Man, that clip was informative, huh? Well, there's plenty more right here if you click that. Also, go ahead and subscribe right there.